After a week break, we come back to yet again this Magi anime greatness. Take it all in, people. We gotta enjoy it while it's still lasting and it's still around. So off the gate, the episode kicks off, and shortly after it kicks off, we already get Mu going in full Djinn equipped and bursting through everything, about to attack Aladdin. And right then and there, I'm thinking like, yo, Mu, for his country and his people, he don't care who he has to kill. He was just, if you think about it, about to kill a Magi for the sake of his people. Of course, yeah, that's the sake of his people, so he don't give a fuck. It's justified any which way in his mind, but nonetheless, he was about to kill Aladdin in cold blood right then and there for his people, and I was just thinking to myself, like, god damn, thank goodness for Alibaba showing up, and that scene right there was just already one of the most epic scenes of the episode. Alibaba showing up, and it's such a great line because, like I said last week's episode, and it was explained last week's episode, not last week's episode, but you get what I mean, that Alibaba is like a third party. He really has no place in this. The only stake he has in this is, yo, my friend is involved, and when it comes to my friend, regardless of what, I'm going to be there to help him. So even though now he's kind of like, in a way, somewhat branded as a traitor to the same empire, he had to do what he had to do. So, in my opinion, it's like, yeah, fuck it. Yo, that's your friend. You went in there to save your friend. This is the same person you were telling them that you were going to save. Didn't tell them, I guess, that, oh, it's this Magi or whatever. But nonetheless, that scene was just epic. And the reunion talk of them, too, it's just like, oh, man. I love it when you get a little bit of a break from them. Like, you know, they had to split up episodes ago, and they had to go, Aladdin went his way, Alibaba went his way, and Morgiana went her way. Which, by the way, it's been a little bit since we've seen Morgiana, but to be fair, in the manga, it felt way longer than what it is in the anime right now. Right now, it feels as though it's been like, you know, let's just say we haven't seen her for months. But I remember in the manga, it felt a lot longer since we've seen Morgiana. And of course, obviously, she's not here, and we don't know when we'll see her or whatnot, but goddamn, it does feel like it's been a while already. And you got Aladdin and Alibaba just to talk there. And it's kind of funny, like, because Scheherazade, you know, they finally get to the medium where they're just sitting down in the boat and they're talking. And Scheherazade is kind of observing them. And I think that if you look closely at it, since we get the revelation that her real body is, you know, stored away and this is a clone, she is studying the human interaction between some very good people, and it's probably something that she hasn't seen in a long time. Remember, she reminisces in this episode of the very first person that she said, yo, this is going to be my king, which, oddly enough, it was a finalist, so she has some sort of thing maybe with the finalists. That's why she keeps on sticking around them or whatnot, but you can totally see that she was just really studying them and seeing like, god damn, I haven't seen stuff like this in such a long time. Everything is just always so serious. Even Titus or Titus, well, I call him Titus, is actually supposed to be pronounced, I guess, Titus, you know, in the episode, that's how they pronounce him or whatever, but I'm going to continue to call him Titus. Even he's like, I never even seen her smile, and that's really just their interactions, their pure and innocent interactions of just be like, oh, you know, you're taller now, oh, this and that, them joking around. And by the way, that shit had me literally, I was laughing out loud to that shit. I love this Magi stuff. There's something about this Magi stuff that I love. I don't know, but it definitely had an impact on Scheherazade and her decision to say, you know what, if she would have seen this earlier on, she probably wouldn't even have said, all right, then we're going to go straight at Magna Stop. She would have remembered what it's like to just have friends and, you know, all this camaraderie and all this friendship and whatnot. She would have actually realized, you know what, yeah, they got Titus or whatever, but Titus is going there of his own accord, and this is why he wanted to go there, to experience these feelings and whatnot. So fuck it, she wouldn't have started all this had she seen something like this and it reminded her of her earlier years. Then Aladdin starts dropping some bombshells in there. Aladdin already starts giving a little sneak peek as to what it was back in the day in Al-Mataran. He tells them a story of Al-Mataran, this kingdom, and how it was destroyed by war, and there was only one person, King Solomon, that was trying to, you know, establish peace and whatnot, and he was just this great man. I'm just thinking to myself, Aladdin, how much do you really know? I guess, to a certain degree, you could say that Solomon's wisdom added to his character development, because when you have this much knowledge at your disposal, it's like, oh, fuck, you know, he knows everything. So that's probably why Aladdin is not too different, but definitely more mature than what he was earlier on in the series. Like, once he got Solomon's wisdom, he's seen all this. And I like how Alibaba interacted with him as well, where he's kind of like looking at him and he's like, yo, you were supposed to tell me this. We're friends. We already discussed something like this. When something's on your mind, let it be on my mind and we'll worry about it together and find a resolution. And that just felt like such a powerful moment, and it really brings in, again, one of the messages of Magi, that sometimes you got to rely on people, sometimes you got to be honest, and it just felt like such a great moment. Of course, it's shonen at the end of the day, so that's a lot of those shonen tropes or whatnot, but nonetheless, you just really felt it in this episode, and that's, I guess, the positivity and the positives of having a seasonal shonen, that you get these more powerful and more impactful moments. And to be honest with you, I've been scared that they were going to do a rush, and for the most part, I didn't really feel like there was a big rush. Maybe with the battle, Mu and Alibaba, maybe that felt a little bit too soon or whatever, when Mu's the Djinn equip completely went, which, by the way, just how powerful is Alibaba if he was able to back down and fully stop a Djinn equipped Mu, a finalist at that. Speculation already right there. So for the most part in this episode, you already got character progression, you got story progression, because it seems as though the war is coming to a halt. You got that, you got a little bit more, I guess, of the backstory. You get a little bit of a glimpse into this other world that we hear about, Almataran, and how this monster thing came down and King Solomon had to stop it. So you already get that bits of information. But then you also find out the sad truth about Tidus and Scheherazade, that they're both clones, and pretty much the real Scheherazade is about to die soon. And I guess also her actions and kind of stopping the war and everything is just kind of like one of those, yo, I'm about to die soon, why am I doing all this? I'm leaving behind hatred, and while I've always wanted to protect the Reign Empire, maybe it's time I try to protect the world. That story of Almataran is a very powerful story you could totally see, because like it changed her perspective as well. Not only their friendship and camaraderie, but hearing that is kind of like, fuck, man, like, what are we doing? We supposed to learn from history, and if I just heard this, why would I go back and attack Magnustat? So already that's a positive thing as well, that Scheherazade is smart enough to realize, yo, I'm not going to make the same mistakes as my ancestors. Maybe I should do something different. But good old Ren Kouen ain't having that. The Kouen Empire is coming in a third party to fucking shake things up even more, so you get the setup as well with this episode. It's like, mwah, everything just coming together, and then Matal Mogamett basically saying, yo, I'm gonna kill everyone right now. We're gonna finish this motherfucking shit. The pride of a magician is on the line as well. Overall, this episode didn't have that special animation for a lot of scenes. Like, I felt as though the animation looked the nicest when they were on the boat, but towards, like, in the battle stuff, it wasn't that beautiful animation that we normally get, which, fair enough, we've already got a lot of that, and I'm sure the budget is running low, so can't expect amazing animation in every particular scene. And the pacing was great. Progression, character progression, story, plot progression, a lot of good things going. I just can't wait to see next week, honestly. Like I say right now, this episode definitely, if I gave it a rating, it probably would be 8.5 out of 10. It was a very good episode. Not as good as the last episode by far, because last episode just had everything you possibly need, but this episode was pretty dope as well. And it was like the storm, then you get the calm before the storm restarts, and then the storm is about to restart because you have a third party, the Kouen Empire, Ren Kouen, and then you got Mogamett there, like, I'm not having none of this, and it's like, this is going to push Mogamett even further, because even though Aladdin's trying his best to be peacemaker, you got to remember, Mogamett, his hatred ain't just going to evaporate like that, and especially with Kouen coming in, like, the Goi are looking down on the magician, you think he's going to have that? No, it's not going to happen, so can't fucking wait for the next week's episode. And right now, Magi is just like, the manga and the anime has me going crazy. I'm loving it. Manga is my favorite manga as of right now. Anime is just going crazy. It's like, Magi for the motherfucking win. Let me know what you thought about this. First of all, Alibaba, just how strong is he if he was able to block and stop a full Djinn equipped Mu from slicing through Aladdin, which, if he would have sliced through Aladdin, my heart. Also, what do you think the Kouen Empire coming in is just going to wage the war even further? And what do you think Mogamett has planned? Because if you remember, Aladdin said, okay, there's a lot of things inside the castle with Mogamett, and he probably has the final key to activate something. What is it that he's going to activate, and just how dark are things going to get? We still got a little bit to go left, and I'm just like, this Magnustat war right now, people, this is a fucking brutal one. That's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up for that Alibaba save, man. You saved your comrade in a fucking epic way, and I loved it. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.